Hello everyone and welcome to another LEGO Star Wars review. Today I've got a very cool set to give you a look at. Before I begin, I just want to give a big thanks to Georgia over at Norton & Co, who are LEGO's marketing company. She was kind enough to hook me up with this set, and as an added personal touch she even went to the effort of wrapping this set up for me as a premature Christmas gift. So Georgia, if you're watching, a big thanks goes out to you and of course the other guys over at Norton & Company. And the set I want to give you a look at today is this one. An early Christmas present for you guys. It is the 2013 LEGO Star Wars Advent Calendar. Set number 75023. And as far as I'm aware, this set consists of 254 pieces and it currently retails for anywhere between $19.99 and $24.99. So it's a really good price actually. There are 24 doors in the Advent Calendar, so really when you think about it, you're looking at maybe £1 or $1 per each individual set that's in each door, so it's not a bad price whatsoever. Before I begin this review, I do want to give a quick mention that this will be sort of spoiled for you guys. If you don't want to find out what is behind each of these doors, you know, if you're planning on opening this Advent Calendar day by day throughout December, then I wouldn't suggest watching this review, as you will be finding out what is inside it. What I'm going to do for this video is, rather than say, oh, this set comes in day 1, this set comes in day 2, I'm going to split the reviews up into minifigures and mini sets, as we get a combination of both in this set. So without further ado, let's jump into it. Obviously this is the box for the Advent Calendar. We get some fantastic artwork on the front there. On the reverse side, we've got more images of the calendar itself. And to access this one, we do indeed have a flap on the front, which opens up to reveal each of the doors, and also a display area as well. Now there are no instruction manuals with the Advent Calendar, as each door, or behind each door, we get a small instruction there on how to assemble each set. One thing I also wanted to point out is that we do get a fair amount of spare parts with this set, as you can see. So if you lose any of them, you've always got backups, which is good. And as you can see, you've got some great artwork on there once again. As you'll have probably guessed by now, this Advent Calendar is very Episode 2 focused, in the sense that a lot of the sets and a lot of the minifigures come directly from Attack of the Clones, but there are some great figures and some great sets in this Advent Calendar. So let's jump in to the review. What I'm going to do is I'm going to give you a look at the minifigures that are included first, and probably the main figure that you guys are going to want to pick this Advent Calendar up for is this guy, young Boba Fett. This is the first time in around 11 years that we've actually seen a Boba Fett from Attack of the Clones in minifigure form, and it really doesn't disappoint. It's a great figure. What I really love about this guy is the hairpiece and the expression on the face there, which looks really cool. Another thing to point out about this figure is that he does have a double-sided face, so you can either have him look very menacing or rather innocent, which is very cool. Obviously he's a smaller minifigure, so he has the stumpy, non-articulated legs that we've seen on figures such as the Ewoks and Yoda, and he does have some very cool printing on the torso and on the reverse side as well. So this is definitely the highlight of this Advent Calendar for me. It's one of the figures that I was really excited to get, and really glad that I did, and it makes a fine addition to the collection. The next minifigure that we get is probably the second most anticipated figure from the Advent Calendar this year, and it is of course Jango Fett as Santa Claus. This is a really cool figure, a novelty more than anything else. Obviously he doesn't really fit in with the Star Wars universe. I'm not pretty sure they don't celebrate Christmas in a galaxy far away, but very cool nonetheless. Obviously we saw Darth Maul as Santa Claus in 2012's Advent Calendar, so this is a nice follow-up. As you can see, he has the Mandalorian armour adorned in red and white. Also has a bit of holly there in the place of the Wookiee braids, and he has some gifts attached to his utility belt as well. In the place of a jetpack, he does have a Christmas sack featuring some gifts. And of course Django does feature a removable helmet with his facial print underneath. So that's very, very cool, and again, got a novelty figure and a cool addition to have. The next minifigure I want to give you a look at is once again a very cool one, and it is this guy, the updated Biker Scout. Now this figure is currently exclusive not only to the Advent Calendar but also to the Ewok Village set, which has just been released. If your main reason for buying the Ewok Village was to get the updated Biker Scout, then you can save yourself a bit of money and just pick the Advent Calendar up, as you do get one of these figures with this set. What's really cool to point out about this guy is the fact that LEGO have now given him leg printing, so he's got the ammo pouches and the knee pads there. He's also got updated torso and reverse printing as well. And he does of course have the facial print underneath. So a really cool figure. A vast improvement, I think, over previous LEGO Biker Scouts. So another worthy addition to the collection. The next minifigure that we get to complement the Biker Scout is of course the Endor Rebel Trooper, which I also believe is exclusive to the Ewok Village. Once again, we've got a very cool minifigure with this. You've got the awesome Rebel helmet there. Once again, the figure itself does have a double printed face, so you've got two expressions there. As you can see, he's got some really nice camo printing there on the front and back of the torso. Overall, just a very, very cool figure. Nice to get some army builders in this Advent Calendar. Speaking of army builders, the next minifigure that we get is the Episode 2 Clone Trooper. You can never have enough of these guys. This particular figure is of course the same Clone Trooper that was released with the Clone Troopers vs Droidekas battle pack, as well as a multitude of other sets as well. And I've given you a look at this guy in the past, so I'm sure you're all familiar with him by now. Obviously he's got that new updated helmet with the Clone Trooper facial print underneath. And he does of course have torso and back printing as well. Once again we get a villain to complement the Clone Trooper. In this instance it is the Geonosian Warrior. This is the same Geonosian Warrior that was released with the Geonosian cannon, minus the wings. It's a very, very cool figure. As you can see, you've got that really creepy bug-eyed head sculpt. You've got some really ornate decoration there on the torso and the legs, which is really, really cool. Love these Geonosians, and you can never get enough of them. Geonosian Warrior also comes with an accomplice or an ally, and that comes in the form of the battle droid, which once again has been released in the tan colour scheme. Nothing really special going on with this guy. It's probably the weakest figure from the set. As you can see, he doesn't have a backpack, and we've all seen battle droids before, so there's nothing really spectacular going on with this guy. But once again, it's always great to get cannon fodder for your clones. Another minifigure that we get in this set is one that's been seen before, and it's this guy, R5F7. This is the same droid that was released in the Y-Wing set from 2012. Once again, just an average repaint of your everyday astromech droid, obviously with the alternate dome and some very cool torso printing. And the final minifigure from the Advent Calendar is this guy, who I believe is FA4. I may be mistaken, but I believe that's his name. This is the Solar Sailor pilot that we see in Episode 2, when Count Dooku makes his escape from Geonosis. This is the droid that pilots his getaway ship. This minifigure is also available in the Duel on Geonosis set from 2013, alongside Yoda and Count Dooku himself. And as you can see, for the most part he is made up of commando droid parts, just with a repainted head. but as you can see he does have a few bricks there to construct the lower half of his body, which looks really cool. So really glad to have this figure, as I wasn't planning on picking up the Geonosian dual set, but this is definitely a key minifigure to have, and a very cool one at that. So that just about does it for all the minifigures. So now let's take a look at the mini sets. And the first one I'm going to give you a look at is this one, which is the Geonosian Starfighter. Very nice set. These sets are a bit hit and miss, I'll be honest. Some of them look really good and are really creative, really clever, and some of them are just a little bit meh, you know, a little bit plain, a bit boring, and in some cases quite difficult to figure out what they actually are. This one isn't one of them though. It does look really nice. It makes for a great little mini set. Obviously you've got the cockpit area there on the top, as well as the laser cannon and the engine in the centre, which is really cool. So I like this one, it's pretty cool. The next mini set that we have is the Separatist Starship, which I nearly dropped. This is of course the starship which transports Nute Gunray and the Separatist leaders. Once again, quite a creative piece. Despite only being made up of a few parts, it's obvious what this ship represents. And as I said, most of these sets in this advent calendar are very cool and very cleverly put together. The next one we have is this one, which is of course the Republic assault ship. Very similar to the Star Destroyer, and again only made up of a few pieces, but again it's evident what it's supposed to be. The next one that we have is one of my personal favourites, and it is of course the ATTE. Very clever little piece, this one. Love how this one has been put together. Obviously you've got the 6 legs there and the cannon up top, which looks really cool. And one thing that I'm really impressed with about the ATTE is that LEGO also included another set in the advent calendar which complements the ATTE, and that is of course the Republic Dropship, which is one of my personal favourite sets from this advent calendar. And one really cool aspect of it is that it can actually connect to the ATTE and fly it into battle like so, which is really cool. And a lot of these sets are definitely a step up from the 2012 advent calendar. Really love that, makes for a great display piece. So while we're on the subject of Republic vessels, pardon my phone there. Seems that all these LEGO reviews I always get a phone call. Typical. So yeah, while we are talking about Republic vessels, I want to give you a look at another one now, and that is of course the Republic Gunship. Now this is once again a very cleverly put together little ship. As you can see, a pair of binoculars have been used to replicate the turrets on the top. You've got a couple of clear studs there for the cockpit area, and overall just a really nicely put together set. So that's the Republic Gunship. Next we have another personal favourite of mine, and that is Slave One, which of course is Boba and Jango Fett's ship, and once again is a really nicely put together set. Love how this one's been designed, very clever, very cool. Obviously all the right elements are there. You've got the wings, the cockpit area, all that sort of stuff going on. Absolutely superb. And the next set that we have is actually from The Empire Strikes Back, and it is of course this one, the Cloud Car, or the Twin Pod Cloud Car, which for some reason has been brought out in red rather than orange, but that's not a massive issue. Once again, very cleverly put together little piece. And some of these sets will make for great dioramas, you know, if you're placing one of your sets at the in the distance in one of your setups, then these make for really great little sets and really great diorama pieces. So that's the Cloud Car. Next up we have another ship from Attack of the Clones, and that is this one. From what I can gather, this is Zam Wesell's speeder that we see during the chase on Coruscant. Once again, very nicely put together little ship. Does bear some resemblance in a way to the Gungan sub, but once you've constructed this set, it's pretty obvious what it's supposed to be. So really like that one. Would have liked to have seen maybe Anakin's speeder released in the advent calendar as well to complement this ship, but it's a great addition nonetheless, and maybe we'll see that in 2014. So there's Zam Wesell's speeder. Next we have the Naboo Star Skiff, which once again is a really nicely put together piece. Uses quite a few more parts than some of the other sets, but it looks great. And once again, if you're building up a diorama with some ships in the distance, this is a great one to have. So that's a Star Skiff. Next we have the Jedi Starfighter, which is of course modelled after Obi-Wan's Jedi Starfighter. Not particularly my favourite vehicle from this set. It's nicely put together. Obviously, again, it's obvious what this ship is supposed to be, but this one's just a little bit plain in comparison to some of the others. But again, you've got Slave 1 in there, so you had to have the Jedi Starfighter as well to recreate that chase through the asteroid field. Another set that we get is one that I'm really not sure about, and it's this one. I'm not 100% sure what this is supposed to be, I'm going to be honest. At a guess, I'd say it's Count Dooku's Solar Sailor, minus the big sail, but I'm probably mistaken on that one. I did Google it to try and find it out, but I couldn't find anywhere that stated what this ship was. So if anybody has any idea, then please feel free to leave a comment down below. But yeah, probably my least favourite vehicle from the set, as I'm not entirely sure what it is. The next one that we get is, again, quite a novelty set, but it is of course a intergalactic sleigh, and I'm assuming that this is for Jango Fett to ride upon. What I really like about this one is that a Mandalorian backpack has been used for the jet thrusters at the back, and obviously we've got a seating area there for Jango to sit down on. What's unfortunate about this, however, is that Jango can't actually sit on the sleigh with his Christmas sack on his back, so you do have to remove that before you sit the figure down on the sleigh. But really cool that they included that. It's something that we've not seen before, and I think these Christmas themed Star Wars minifigures really do make for great desk toys, I'm not going to lie. So there we go, that's the sleigh. And then the final two sets that we get in the advent calendar are actually weapon holders, and we do get a variety of different weapons with this advent calendar. As you can see, you've got this blaster rack here, which features a variety of different weapons. So you've got the small blaster pistol, which I'm assuming is for the Biker Scout. You've got the longer rifle, perhaps for the Endo Trooper, a standard sized blaster for the clone, and then we do get another weapons stand, which is Geonosis themed, and we've got a Geonosian blaster there for the Geonosian warrior, and another standard clone blaster as well. So it's really nice that they included weapons for each of the minifigures, and these weapon racks really do come in handy as well. So there we go, those are the weapon racks, and as I showed you throughout the review, the mini sets and minifigures. As I said, great lineup for this year. We do get some really cool minifigures and some really cool sets in this advent calendar, and I'd really recommend picking it up, maybe for yourself if you're after the minifigures, or for your little ones as well, as they will have an absolute blast opening this up and taking a look at what's inside each day. So once again, that is set number 75023, the LEGO Star Wars 2013 advent calendar. Definitely worth picking up, if for nothing else, for the amazing Boba Fett minifigure that comes in this set. So once again, a big thanks goes out to Georgia and Norton & Co for sending this one out for a review. And I'll be back to give you a look at some more LEGO reviews later on in November. I've got a very cool one lined up for you, as well as tons more Hasbro products as well. So stay tuned for all of those and many more. So if you enjoyed this review, guys, I hope it didn't go on too long. And again, if you didn't want to see what was inside the advent calendar, don't say I didn't warn you. So there we go. Hope you enjoyed this review, guys. Thanks for watching, and until next time, as always, keep collecting, and may the Force be with you.